So today we're supposed to start from 56. So from 56 to 60, it is working in pure devotional service, as you can see here, right? 56 to 60, working in pure devotional service. So before we start the class, please let us take the blessings of the beautiful deities of ISKCON Mangaluru, Sri Radha Govinda Ji. Sri Radha Govinda Ji ki Jai. Okay, 56. Sarvakarmanyaphi sada kurvano madvyapashrayah matprasadat avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotees under my protection reaches the eternal grace and reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. So here Krishna says, even if a devotee is doing all kinds of work, if he depends on Krishna and acts under his protection, then by Krishna's mercy, he will reach the eternal spiritual world. So what is Krishna trying to say? See, you don't have to stop working. So you can cook, you can clean the house, teach, you can earn, you can serve your family, you can manage responsibilities. But the condition is, if you do everything remembering Krishna, then Krishna will take care of the rest. Okay, so you do all these responsibilities not for yourself, not for your sense gratification, but remembering Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center of your life. Then Krishna will take care. He will give you all the protection. He will take care of you. Okay, he will see to it that you go back to Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, so here what is the trying for is Prabhupada trying to say is, see, our success depends not only on our effort, but it depends on the mercy of Krishna. So Krishna is saying what? By my grace in the translation. So not only our effort, but at the same time, Krishna's mercy is also required. Okay, so both are needed, our effort and Krishna's mercy. Then we can go back to Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, so here you can see, right? See, Lord's protection. I personally protect my devotee from all reactions and lead him directly to my supreme abode. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee is always under my protection. Okay, he reaches the eternal abode by my grace. So what is the nature or quality of service? So they are the devotees, they have no time limitation for a pure devotee, always 24 hours engaged in the service of the Lord. And nature of the abode, how is the spiritual world? It is unchangeable, it is eternal, imperishable, and full of knowledge. It is Satchidananda. And significance of Mad Vyapashrityau means under the protection of the Lord. So how does this protection come? A pure devotee acts under the direction of Supreme Lord or his representative. So how does this protection come from Krishna? When you act as per Krishna's instruction or per the instruction of Krishna's representative, or like a person who's coming from the Guru Parampara. So when you listen to their instruction, then Krishna gets complete protection. Okay? So 57. I think the shloka is not there. Okay, let me just open the shloka. A57. Chetasa sarva karmani Mayi sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya matchittaha satatam bhava. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Okay. So how is the devotee? So devotee's mood of dependence. So Krishna, what is he saying? Offer all your work to me, depend on me, think of me always, work under my protection. So what does this mean? What is Krishna trying to say? See, do all your duties, what you have to do, all your family responsibilities, all your work, your duties, you do, right? But you always think of me. So when you're doing all these duties, think of me. Think that I'm doing it for what do you say? Remember Krishna when you're doing all these activities. Okay, think in your heart. You think that I'm doing this for Krishna. So don't think that I am the boss, I am the enjoyer, I am the master, and I'm doing it for my sense gratification. Think that I'm doing it. I'm serving. I'm trying to serve Krishna. I'm trying to please Krishna. This is an offering to Krishna. Okay, so that is the main thing. And one more thing, in the purport, Prabhupada says that we should not do anything we like and then say, this is for you, Krishna. No. Whatever comes to our mind. Now a thief may say that I have robbed all this, and he may say that 10% I'm giving it to you, Krishna. That is wrong. Not like that. Okay, so what is the thing that Krishna is saying you offer me? It means follow his instructions and act in a way that pleases him. Right? Not doing whatever comes to our mind and then say that, okay, Krishna, you take this now. We are offering this to you. It's like some people may say that, oh, Krishna, we are eating non-veg. We'll offer you non-veg. You please eat. Not like that. Okay, now that is not the thing. So we should not do anything we like and then say, this is for you, Krishna. So we have to follow the instructions of Krishna and then act in a way that pleases him. Okay, so that those are the activities that we should do, not whatever comes to our mind. So we simply have to follow the instructions given in the Shastras. Okay. Okay. So here, see, devotees' mode of dependence. In all activities, just depend on me. Like you see in the PPT, right? Draupadi, she totally surrendered herself to Krishna. When she, like she says, hey, Krishna, Govinda, please protect me. So that's when Krishna, she totally depended. She lifted her hands up high into the air and she said, Krishna, I have no one else. You are the only one who can protect me. And then that's when Krishna gives her what do you say, so much sari he gives, right? You can't even count. You can't see even measure the length. So in all activities, just depend on me. Work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. So we should work sincerely, keeping Krishna in our mind. So that is our real Krishna consciousness. So all our material, see, Krishna consciousness is nothing but it's just a change of consciousness. You have to just change your consciousness. That's all. Whatever material activity you're doing, earlier we used to do it for our sense gratification. Now it's simple. You just add Krishna to your life. You do it to please Krishna. See, earlier you were doing a job, for instance. You did the job for your sense gratification. All the income you used to spend it on yourself, your family, your society, like that. But now what do? A part of it you dedicate it for Krishna, right? So it becomes Krishna conscious. It becomes spiritual. Your working becomes spiritualized. Earlier you used to eat for your sense gratification. So you used to taste and oh, I like it this way. But now it's simple. It's a simple change in consciousness. I am doing this as an offering to Krishna. First, Krishna will eat, and then I will have it as prasadam. Right? See, anyway, we have to cook. The simple changes, now you're offering to Krishna instead of for yourself, you offer it to Krishna and then you have it as prasadam. So it's just a matter of, if you see throughout the day, whatever you do, see, if you do it for your sense gratification, the only difference is you get entangled in this material world. Because when you do anything, you are responsible for your karma. You may either get good or bad karma, because of which you will have to come back to this material world, and then you have to suffer or enjoy those reactions. But if you do that to please Krishna, you will not, it will become akarma. Right? Why do you come back to this material world, to this earthly planet? If you have both good and bad karma, only you come back here. See, if you have only good karma, you go to heavenly planets. If you have bad karma, you go to hellish planets. Only you have these two, you come to the earthly planet. But if you don't have any of these, you become akarma, you go to the spiritual world. What's the necessity for you to come here if you become akarma, right? So that is the thing. 18.58. मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Okay, so here Krishna is saying, if you keep your mind on me, by my mercy, you will cross all difficulties. Okay, but if you act with false ego and do not listen to me, you will be lost. Okay, so it's indirectly Krishna is saying, if you practice Krishna consciousness, you will come back to the spiritual world, because there's no karma if you do it for me. But if you don't listen to me and do it for your sense gratification, you will be entrapped in this material world. That's what Krishna is trying to say indirectly. Okay, so if you remember Krishna and you depend on him, he will help you cross all the problems in life. But if you think, oh, I know everything, I don't need God, I will act independently, then you will suffer. Okay, so what is this false ego? Many times we've discussed, right? False ego means you think that I am independent, I am the controller, I am the master, I am the enjoyer, I don't need any guidance, right? But actually, we are already under the control of material nature through the three modes. Because of those three modes, we are caught in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. Okay, so we are never independent. Okay, and we see here, right? See here, see, Krishna is saying, if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. Otherwise, what will happen? See, you will get entangled, you will be bound in the material world. And discussion in the purport, it says that Krishna consciousness is free from all anxieties. So, why free from all anxieties? See, a Krishna conscious person does their work without too much worry. He does not worry, he just does his duty. He trusts that Krishna will take care of them. He does everything sincerely. Whatever he has to do, he does, because he doesn't expect the results or anything, right? He leaves the results because he trusts Krishna will take care of him. So he leaves the results to Krishna, whether the profit or loss or whatever, good or bad, he leaves it to Krishna. Okay, so he feels guided from inside as Paramatma. That's why he feels peace and free. But what do the materialistic person think? I am the one who's doing everything. I have to work. If I work hard, I will get the result, he thinks. And that's why he has so much of tension, anxiety. Oh, what will happen if it doesn't come? What will happen if this does not happen? That is why he has all those anxieties. But devotees, they don't have that anxiety because they trust Krishna will take care of them. And so they leave everything in Krishna's hands. So they do their duties 100%, but they don't worry about the result. They just leave it to Krishna. Okay, that's why they are free from all anxiety. So that's why by practicing Krishna consciousness, you become free from all anxieties. Next, a KC person is liberated and free to act. What does this mean? See, they are not controlled by selfish desires. They act because they feel guided by Krishna from inside the heart. Okay, so everything that they do is like they follow the instructions of Krishna, or they are guided by the spiritual master or senior Vaishnavas. Okay, so that's why they feel peaceful and confident. So whatever work they are doing, if they have any doubt or anything, they take the instructions of Krishna. They take the instructions of the Guru or the senior Vaishnavas. Okay, so that's why they feel peaceful and confident in whatever they're doing, whatever action they are doing. Otherwise, what happens if they don't follow the guidance of Krishna and all those, and if they don't practice Krishna consciousness, what will happen? They're saying, see here, otherwise, conditioned soul is always under strict material laws. That means if someone is not Krishna conscious, they are controlled by material nature. See, if you're they're only see in this material world, there are only two, either it's Krishna or Maya. If you're not Krishna conscious, you're Maya conscious, right? Only two are there. You don't think you can put your leg in both. No, you are either in this or that. Okay, so if someone is not Krishna conscious, they're controlled by material nature. So they are forced by desire, anger, fear, karma. Okay, that is 59. So, one second, I think Shloka is not there. यत् अहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्य व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. Okay, so what is acting under Krishna or illusion? So what is Krishna saying? See, either when you're in this material world, either you act according to the instruction of Krishna or according to the instructions of Maya. So only those things. So what is Krishna telling here? See, Arjuna is a Kshatriya and his duty is to fight for Dharma. Even if he avoids to fight, the modes will force him to fight. Right? See, Arjuna, when Krishna is telling him to fight, he's saying he will not fight. But what is Krishna telling? The modes will force you to fight. Even if you don't fight, when I'm saying, because you're a Kshatriya and by nature you're in the mode of passion, you will be forced by your mode, the mode of passion, to fight anyway. So instead of, so you now you decide, you want to fight under my instruction, you want to please me, or you want to fight according to the modes. If you fight according to the modes, Maya, you'll be implicated in the cycle of birth and death. But if you fight to please me, then it'll become a karma. You will come back to me. Okay, so but if you fight for your sense gratification, then you will have to fight according to the modes of passion. Anyway, because you're a Kshatriya, you will be impelled to work. That is for sure. But the modes, even though you're saying you'll go to the forest, you will renounce and everything, you can't do that. Because the mode, because you're as a Kshatriya, you're in the mode of passion. And so you'll be forced by the modes to fight. But that will be under Maya. Okay, so when you fight under Maya, you will either get a good or bad reaction, for which you have to come back to this earthly kingdom, earthly world to suffer or enjoy. But you do it to, if you fight to please me, then you will not, there's no necessity for you to come back. You will go to Goloka Vrindavan. So Krishna is telling that. Okay. So if you do not, see, that's what Krishna is saying. See here, if you don't fight according to my instructions, then you will anyway be forced by the modes to be engaged in warfare. So what is said in the purport? What is the example of acting according to nature? Arjuna as a Kshatriya has natural duty to fight. Why refusal to fight was under false ego? Because he was fearing that by killing his relatives, he could incur sinful reactions. So, what was his false ego? He's thinking that by killing, he was thinking about his sense gratification. He's thinking that if I kill, I'll become sinful. I'll get so many sinful reactions. So he's thinking about himself for his sense gratification. He's not thinking about pleasing Krishna here, right? So that is why he was under false ego. He's thinking that by killing all his relatives, he would incur sinful reactions. What is the forgetfulness of a conditional soul? So at this point, what Arjuna forgets the relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead and considers himself as a master of his actions. So that's why, see, even all of us, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we all used to think that we are the master, we are the enjoyer, everybody should listen to what I say, everybody should follow me. We used to think like that, right? Everything in this material world is meant for my enjoyment. So we thought like that. But after reading, understanding the Bhagavad Gita, then we understood that, oh, we are not the masters. Our Swarupa is like we are servants of Krishna. All these janmas, we forgot Krishna. And then we understand what is our purpose as like we are not the body, we are the soul, and our duty is to serve Krishna, please Krishna. So till now we were doing everything for our sense gratification. And then even then we did everything for our sense gratification. We found there was no happiness. Okay, but when we start serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna, because that is the swabhava of the soul. That is the dharma of the soul. Like dharma of sugar is to be sweet, right? Dharma of lemon is to be sour. So like that, dharma of the soul is to be this eternal servant of Krishna, to serve Krishna. Then only do we get happiness. So we realize that and we start doing that. But why do we suffer in this material world? Because we forgot Krishna. And we forgot Krishna and we thought that we are the enjoyer. We are so busy in our sense gratification that we bear all the reactions, good or bad. So because of which we have to come back to this material world and we have to suffer or enjoy those reactions. Okay. Conclusion. So unhesitatingly execute the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that will keep one safe under all circumstances. Even if what they're saying is, even if you don't like following Krishna's instruction, but still you follow, it is for your good, they're saying. See, unhesitatingly execute the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because you know it is good, even though you don't like it. Sometimes, you know, when you go to your Guru Maharaj, he may give you some instructions which you don't like. But it is ultimately for your benefit because the Guru doesn't want anything material from you, right? He wants your benefit, spiritual benefit itself. So when a Guru gives you instructions, it is always for your better. Even though at that moment you may not like it, it's good for you to always follow the instructions of the Guru. Okay, same. I mean, like, it's always good. Even if you don't like, just follow. Because the Guru knows much better than you. He knows what is good for you. And he is the one who's going to take you back to Godhead. Right? So, unhesitatingly execute the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that will keep you one safe under all circumstances. See, even if you don't like, just do it. That will keep you safe under all circumstances. 60 also shloka is not there. स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धः स्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यसि avasho अपि तत्. Translation. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. But compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. Okay, so Krishna is saying the same thing, acting under Krishna or illusion. So if you do not follow my orders, Krishna is saying, see, you will be compelled to follow the orders of lower nature. Lower nature means what? Prakriti, material nature. So what is material nature? The modes. And what will happen to Arjuna? Arjuna being a Kshatriya, he'll be in the mode of passion. And so if he's in the mode of passion, obviously he'll be forced to fight. So Krishna is saying, anyway, you'll be forced to fight. According to, if you don't listen to my advice, if you don't follow my orders, you'll have to follow the orders of Maya. Okay, so when you do it for Maya, you will get a reaction. But if you do it to please me, then you will have no reaction. So it's all left to you. So what are the results Krishna is saying? See, anyone who voluntarily engages himself under the direction of the Supreme Lord becomes glorious. Right? If he follows the instructions of Krishna, he will go back to Goloka Vrindavan. He will have no karma. But anyone who refuses the instructions of Krishna and acts according to the instructions of Maya, he obviously bound by the ropes of the three modes. So he will be forced to act under the direction of Maya. Okay. So next, 61 to 63 is more confidential knowledge. Surrender to super soul. Okay. Ishwarah sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati pramayan sarvabhutani yantra rudani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated on a machine made of material energy. Okay, so now we are focusing, we finished impersonal Brahman previously. Now, what is the next stage of realization of Godhead? Krishna is giving the more confidential knowledge. See, just confidential knowledge is about the impersonal Brahman. Now, Krishna is giving more confidential. What is more confidential about the super soul in the heart? Okay, so here what Krishna is trying to say, I mean, like the purport Prabhupada is saying, see, we are not completely independent. So God is guiding us from within. So in one shloka we read, right, how Krishna, he is there as Paramatma, he is seated within our heart. He gives us remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. See, we forgot what wishes, desires we had in our previous janma. So Krishna as Paramatma, he gives us that knowledge, he gives us that remembrance, right? He gives us the remembrance. Oh, this is what was your desire in your last janma. You could not complete it. So now I'm giving you that remembrance. Now I'm giving you that knowledge. So now you start again. And what forgetfulness he gives? He gives a forgetfulness that what we were in the previous janma, he will make us forget all that. Because if we remember all that, see, in this Janma itself, we have so many pains and troubles. If we remember all the past Janmas, then we'll be in total chaos. So that's why Krishna makes us forget about the past. Okay, and he makes us remember our desires that we could not complete in our last Janma, and he gives us the knowledge so that we can execute that. So he is there as super soul in the heart. Okay, so the body works under material nature. All of us know it is under the control of the modes. Okay, so the best choice is, instead of thinking I am the controller, we should understand that God is guiding. So we should not think that I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am the everything in this material world is for my enjoyment. Okay, instead of thinking like that, what we should understand is Krishna is there as Paramatma within us. God is guiding. So let me follow his advice. Okay, when we come to that understanding, when that brings clarity and peace. So when we understand, see, always there is an inner voice which always tells us when we are doing something wrong, don't do that, don't do that. But we don't listen at that time. Compelled by our desires, we don't act. That inner voice is the Paramatma is trying to instruct you something. He's always there inside, he's guiding us. But we don't listen because we have that minute independence, right? So Krishna doesn't want to stop us from using that independence. He just guides us. Like how Krishna is guiding Arjuna, saying that it's up to you now. I will give you all the guidance. I'll tell you why you have to fight and all that. But finally, in the end, I will leave the decision to you. Like that, Krishna also, he guides us from within. Don't do like that. That is bad for you. And then he says, it's up to you now. I'm telling you, it's bad. Don't do. But now finally, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Okay, so when we act according to the instructions of Krishna and our Guru, that brings clarity and peace. So 62. Tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. O son of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Okay. Okay, so here Krishna is trying to say that, see, if you surrender unto him utterly, fully you surrender, then by his grace you will attain transcendental peace. So here Krishna is saying, see, if you try to control everything alone, life becomes heavy. So if you think that I have to support my family, I have to support the society, I have to do this for my parents, I have to do this for my family, I have to do this for my relatives, and you put everything on your head, everything becomes heavy. See, I'll give you an example. See, if you hold up some article in your hand, take that article and put that in your hand and raise your hand and put it for some time like that. So 15 minutes, it is okay. Then the half an hour, your hand will start paining. And 1 hour, it will, like more pain. More than an hour, if you put, your hand will get paralyzed. But if we remove that object and put it on the table or something, and your hand is down now, you feel peaceful. Right? So, like that, see, the more you put all the responsibilities in your head, you become heavy and you become paralyzed. Like that, you become. But as soon as you remove all the burdens and you put it on Krishna, then you feel peaceful. Putting on the table means putting on Krishna. Leave it to Krishna. Okay, that is like relieving yourself. So if you try to control everything alone, life becomes heavy. But if you surrender to God, He carries the weight for you. Okay, surrender brings peace. Okay, that is what you have to understand. Because ultimately, everything happens according to the will of Krishna. It's not according, we saw, right? There are 5 factors that are responsible. When we want to do something, Krishna is one of the factor and the main factor. Right? Everything happens according to the will of Krishna. So why not leave it in the hands of Krishna? So you just do what you have to do. Don't think that, you do the duty, you expect the results, everything. Don't take that burden. Just do your duty and just leave the rest to Krishna. Okay, so don't put everything on your head and don't think I only have to do the responsibilities of everybody. So you have to just do the responsibilities and leave the results to Krishna. So he will take care of everything. He will carry the weight. Okay, just surrender and that brings you peace. When you think that I am the only one, if I am not there, how will my family survive? How will my relatives survive? How will my children survive? How will my parents survive? You think that way, everything will be heavy, everything will be a burden for you. But the moment you think that, okay, as a duty, I have to do this, I have to do my job. Okay, let me do my job. I have to pay the school fees. Let me do. Just do your duties and leave the rest to Krishna. That's all. Don't expect the result. Don't do anything for your sense gratification. Just do it to please Krishna. Just don't think everything you are doing. Just do your duty and leave the result to Krishna. Let Krishna bear the weight. He will take care of us. Iti te gnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrusyatad asheshena yatechasi tatha kuru. Thus I will explain to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. See, now Krishna, he has explained everything to Arjuna. So he's not forcing Arjuna here. See, we have that, the soul has that minute independence, right? So Krishna never forces anybody. So Krishna is telling, I give you, I'm giving you the true knowledge. Everything I'm giving it to you. Now it's up to you. I've told you what is good for you. Now it's up to you to decide what, yeah, it's your, now you decide what you want to do. Okay, so Krishna here, he does not force Arjuna. He teaches, he guides, he explains everything clearly. So then he says, now you decide. So what does this mean? Like Krishna is saying, like Prabhupada says, like that we have that free will. So God, he just gives guidance, but he does not take away our independence. Okay, and the spiritual life is not just blind following. Okay, so we should think deeply and understand. Many people, they think the spirituality means sentimental and all that. Oh, Krishna is in my heart, I love Krishna. It's, see, you should not be sentimental like that. So it's not blind following. So you have to know the science behind that. So Krishna consciousness, that's why it is a science. Don't follow spirituality blindly. Know the science behind that. Otherwise, if you just follow it sentimentally, you will not know why you are following Krishna. You will think that if you don't know the knowledge of the science, one fine day you think that, see, as long as it is going good, you will practice Krishna consciousness. The moment difficulties start coming, you think, oh, I'm doing so much for Krishna, I'm doing chanting, I'm doing devotional service, I'm reading, I'm chanting, I'm hearing speeches. Why is Krishna giving me difficulties? But if you know the knowledge or science, see, if you are sentimental, then you will leave Krishna consciousness and you'll go away. But if you have that knowledge, you understand, okay, now this is my bad karma. Like maybe I must have done this karma in my previous janma or this janma. So it is coming back to me. And I'm not getting 100% because I'm in Krishna consciousness. Krishna is just giving me 10% of that bad karma. Because I'm practicing Krishna consciousness, Krishna has reduced my bad karma. He's just giving me 10% of it. And that's how a devotee expects, and he continues his Krishna consciousness. And in fact, he feels good that, oh, my bad karma is getting over. Okay, he feels happy. Oh, that's really nice. My bad karma is getting over. So if you know the science behind that knowledge, you will continue your Krishna consciousness. Because one who knows the science of Krishna, they will understand that. See, how else can we get out of this material nature? How else can we get liberated from Prakriti? Do we have any other alternative? Other than Krishna consciousness, do we have any other alternative? No, right? This is the only blissful opportunity. So, such a blissful process, Krishna consciousness. You can nicely dance, you can nicely have nice kirtan, wonderful prasadam, you can have wonderful devotee association, wonderful devotional service. Everything is so blissful here. What more do we need? See, once one reporter asked Prabhupada, see, you are telling Krishna is there, but we don't see Krishna. What if after we die we come to know that there is no Krishna? Then you know what Prabhupada answered? See, okay, for instance, if you think there is no Krishna also, but our process is so blissful, there is nothing to regret. Prabhupada said, see, everything we are enjoying. Kirtan we are enjoying, dance we are enjoying, prasadam we are enjoying, wonderful devotee association we are enjoying, everything we are enjoying. So what is this? Nothing is lost. Prabhupada says that. So it is such a wonderful process, Krishna consciousness is. Okay? So 64 to 66. Now we discussed about super soul, right? That is more confidential knowledge. Now Krishna in 64 to 66 is giving most confidential knowledge. That is about Supreme Personality of Krishna, Godhead, Bhagavan, Krishna. See? So what is the most 64th shloka is not given, I think. Okay, let me read the 64th shloka first. सर्वगुह्यतमं भूया शृणु मे परमं वचा इष्टो असि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम् Translation: because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Okay, so what is the most, see, thinking of, one second. Okay, so Krishna is giving the supreme instruction. So what is the most confidential knowledge? Guhya is what? The Guhya, more confidential knowledge is knowledge of Brahman. Guhyatara means more confidential knowledge. What is that? Is knowledge of Super Soul, Paramatma, right? And Guhyatama, Krishna is saying in this shloka, Guhyatama means most confidential knowledge means surrender, just surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Okay, so that is the that is what Krishna revealed. That is the supreme instruction. That is the most confidential instruction. Okay, so next 65. Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Krishna. Sorry. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So here, what is Krishna saying? Okay. Always think of me. Okay, and become, see, always think of me. So thinking of Krishna is not only during prayer. Don't think thinking of Krishna only during praying to God when you do puja or whatever. Only during prayer. So it should happen throughout the day. So you should think of Krishna throughout the day. How? See, by getting up in the Brahma Muhurta, first you chant Krishna's name, and then you do all the morning Mangalacharan prayers and everything. And then you attend you do chanting of your rounds for 2 hours. And then you listen to the Bhagavatam class. And then you attend the Guru Puja. Okay, and then you do your work. I mean, whatever work you do it as an offering to Krishna. Then you come back in the evening, you take your bath, you take some snack prasadam you take, and then you do the aarti, evening aarti, you attend the evening aarti, and then you read some Prabhupada books, you hear some speeches, and then finally you have your night prasadam, and then you sleep, and then you get up in the morning. This is how totally throughout the day your day should be. They're chanting Krishna's name, offering food to Krishna before eating, doing work as a service to Krishna. So remembering him while cooking or walking or studying. Okay, so then life slowly becomes Krishna centered. So we have to remember Krishna in our every step of life. Even when you're sneezing, when you're brushing, when you're breathing, when you're walking, when you're shopping, when you're traveling, should be we should try to. I mean, initially it will be difficult, definitely, because we have so many material desires. Our thoughts will be on that, but slowly make it as a practice. Krishna always says, right? Abhyasena kaunteya, practice. It is definitely difficult, but it is possible. But by practice, we can control the mind and we can try to remember Krishna. So always try to, I mean, like the more you practice, more you hear, more you remember Krishna smaran, automatically it will come to your mind. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Let's go to the next shloka. Sarvadharman, the famous shloka, I think everybody knows this shloka. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Okay, so what is Krishna saying? Do not depend on many complicated religious paths. So he's telling, right, all the paths like what? Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Hatha yoga, what not yoga, you give up all those. Okay, don't depend on all these complicated religious paths. Just surrender unto me with faith. With faith. Don't just surrender. With faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Supreme Father. He will give me complete protection. So if you take surrender to Krishna like that with faith, then Krishna is saying, I will protect you and free you from all sins. He's saying, do not be afraid or anxious. You should have that faith. That faith we don't have. See, when we have any problem, immediately we first rush to our materialistic friends or all these persons. Like how Draupadi, when she was doing Vastrapaharan was happening, she first ran to her husbands, then to Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya, Dhritarashtra, what is that? Gandhari, everybody she asked. This is what we do. But a pure devotee, he just depends on Krishna. He depends on, like purely depends on Krishna for help. He just surrender. That's what Krishna is saying. Just surrender to me with faith. And finally, what happened when Draupadi surrendered to Krishna? Krishna ultimately gave protection, right? He didn't say that you went to them, that is why I won't give you. You didn't call me first. You went here and there. He didn't say that, right? He gives ultimate protection. That's why Krishna is saying, I just surrender to me with faith. I will protect you and free you from all sins. Do not be afraid. So it is like Krishna is saying that, come to me, I will take care of everything. So you just come to me, I will take care of everything. It's like a father saying to a child, if the child rebels and, not child, if son rebels and gets out of the house, what can the father do? But if the father, if he tries to change his ways and come back, the father says, I will take care of you, right? Come to me, I will take care of everything. Otherwise, if he's on the road, he's nowhere, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. Come to me, I will take care of you. So what surrender here means, see, surrender term, many people get confused. Okay, surrender means trusting Krishna completely, having complete faith on Krishna, following his instructions. So living life for his service. So depending on him for protection. Okay, so what does a devotee generally think? Krishna is my protector and guide. Okay, so what is the main message of the whole Gita? Okay, after explaining, see, now Krishna, he explained about karma, gnana, ashtanga yoga, and many parts he explained. So Krishna, he finally gave the essence. What is the essence Krishna is giving now? Devotion, means bhakti yoga, and surrender to Krishna is the highest path. He's finally concluding. Say, that's what he's saying. You forget, you abandon all those various paths. Just do devotion and surrender to me. That's all. Take care of you. I will, all his sinful reactions will go. You don't have to, there is no fear for you. Okay? Okay, now 67 to 71. Preaching and studying the Bhagavad Gita. See how important it is for us to preach the Bhagavad Gita and study the Bhagavad Gita. Idam te natapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na cha ashushra shave vachyam na cha mamyo abhyasuyati. This confidential knowledge may not be explained to those who are not austere. or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. Okay, this confidential knowledge should not be explained to those who are not, so those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor who is envious of me. Okay, so here in this verse of Bhagavad Gita, so Krishna is telling Arjuna who should not be taught this confidential knowledge. Okay, so Krishna is saying, do not explain this deep spiritual knowledge to people who do not practice discipline or austerity and who are not devotees, who are not willing to listen or serve Krishna, or who are envious of Krishna. Okay, see, some people are not ready to understand the spiritual truth. See, many times when we do book distribution, there's so much materially this, especially the people who put their stalls on the road and who do small businesses on the small shops they put, right? We go to them and ask them to read the Bhagavad Gita. They say, no, we don't have time for that. There's so much materially engrossed that they don't understand spirituality. They don't have time for that. I mean, that is also true. They are like in such a position that they open their shops right from the morning at 9 or 10 and they close at 10 or 11 in the night. So they really don't have, I mean, sometimes they don't have time to eat food also. They're so busy with their business. Okay, so they are not ready to understand the spiritual truth. Okay, so here what are they saying? The teachings of the Gita should not be explained to people who make fun of God. Because some people, they are atheists, right? They don't believe in God. See, when I went for book distribution, I don't know how many of you are from Bangalore. I went to this Ramaya hospital. I myself, I was just, I think we were two devotees, and no, I was just only one. And I was full of hope that these doctors were there, right? There were so many doctors there. I was doing book distribution there, and I was confident that many books would go because doctors, in a sense, I thought they were intelligent and they would select the Bhagavad Gita. They would be interested, but I did book distribution for 2 hours and not even a single book got sold. Nobody was interested. In fact, the doctors themselves were saying that I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. That was the worst shock of my life. So many were saying that I don't believe in God. But we people think that doctors are equal to God, right? They save our lives. But I've heard many of them say, we don't believe in God. I was shocked. In fact, not even I just did book distribution, I think for 2 or 3 hours there. Not even a single book got sold that day. Nobody was interested. Okay, forget. I mean, it's up to Krishna if he wants the book to be taken. But the thing that shocked me was many were atheists. Many of the doctors were atheists. They didn't believe in the concept of God. Okay. Okay, so that's why the teachings of the Gita, Krishna is saying, should not be explained to people who make fun of God, are not interested in spiritual life, who refuse to listen sincerely, are jealous of Krishna, because such people will misunderstand or disrespect the knowledge. That's why we should not give this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to such people, because they will misunderstand, because they are not ready to accept that knowledge. Spiritual knowledge won't enter their head. They will disrespect that knowledge. Okay, so why Krishna says this? See, spiritual knowledge is very precious. It's like a rare jewel. So not everybody can understand it. See, if someone values it, they will understand it and they'll benefit from it. If someone has no faith or respect, they will twist the meaning, they will criticize it, they will misuse it, they will do anything because they don't understand the value, or I mean, they don't respect that spirituality. That knowledge they don't respect. Okay, so they will criticize, they will misuse it. So that's why Krishna advises to share this knowledge with sincere devotees. Okay, And why do people generally envy Krishna? So the many reasons. See, first reason is they don't want to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. I mean, he's the supreme. Okay, so because some people think, oh, why should Krishna be the supreme? And why should I surrender to him? Why is he only supreme? Okay, so because of pride or ego, they cannot accept Krishna as supreme. So that creates envy. Okay, that is the first reason. Second reason is they think, some people, they think Krishna is just an ordinary person. So some people think Krishna was just a historical person or a mythological hero. So when they hear that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, they feel uncomfortable and they criticize Krishna. Okay, that is the second point. They think him as a normal person, as some hero or a historical person. Okay. Now, third, attachment to material life. So many people we see, right, are attached to sense enjoyment, wealth, or power. And Krishna, through the Bhagavad Gita, he says, control your senses, do devotion, surrender to God. So people, who are materialistically inclined, they don't want to change their lifestyle. So such people, they may dislike the teachings of Krishna. So they don't want to control their senses. I mean, like Krishna says, you do everything to please me. But they may not be ready to do all this. They want everything for their sense gratification. So such people they don't like. They dislike Krishna's teachings. Okay, that is third point. Fourth point is like misunderstanding Krishna's activities. Okay, so Krishna's divine pastimes sometimes look unusual to people who do not understand spirituality. Right, many of us also before coming to Krishna consciousness we had all these doubts, right? See, Krishna ran away from the war, like he didn't fight with Jarasandha, right? In the last this thing, he ran away from the battlefield. If Krishna is God, why should he run away? Many people have this doubt, right? That is one thing. And Rasa Leela, see now why did Krishna do the Rasa Leela, that too in the night with married wives? What is this Rasalila dancing and all? Many people have the doubt. And how come did he marry? Why? He should marry only one wife. Why did he marry 16,108 wives? Why did he have so many wives? So like this, people, they misunderstand Krishna because they don't have the thorough understanding. Okay, so though they like misinterpret and that's why they don't accept Krishna. So without proper knowledge, they misunderstand his actions and develop envy. So many of them say this about Krishna. That's why they don't accept Krishna as God. Okay, and the main thing is false ego. The fifth reason is false ego. So we think I am independent, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am the master. Everything in this material world is for my enjoyment. But Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, he is the ultimate controller. He is the cause of all causes and he is the enjoyer, which the people do not like to hear. Okay, so the teachings of the Gita should be shared with sincere, respectful, and devotional people who truly want to understand Krishna, right? And who should not try to comment on the Bhagavad Gita. Envious people should not comment, faithless, and those without understanding of Krishna from authority of a pure devotee. So they should not comment on the Bhagavad Gita. See, nowadays it's become a fashion to write the Bhagavad Gita, especially you see all these IIT people who everybody they started writing the Bhagavad Gita. And now, the material people they think, oh, IIT person has written. They think for them that IIT person, IIT means they are intelligent, they know everything. Oh, he wrote the Bhagavad Gita, then we must read that Bhagavad Gita. That is what we think. But IITian, he is thinking from the materialistic point of view. He's not a devotee. He does not understand the spiritual concept. He just understands maybe the philosophy. He must have done some PhD on research on the Bhagavad Gita. But he's not a devotee. He does not understand the concept of Bhagavan, Krishna, because he's not a devotee. He cannot understand that spiritual aspect. people, material people, they think, oh, this IITian, he's intelligent. Yeah, he must have understood the Bhagavad Gita very nicely. And then we start reading the Bhagavad Gita. You read the whole Bhagavad Gita, the entire Bhagavad Gita will be his views. It should be actually his Bhagavad Gita. It is not Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. It will be his Bhagavad Gita. There will be no Krishna concept in that Bhagavad Gita. There will be no mentioning of Krishna at all. It will be just philosophy. You see any of the Bhagavad Gitas that are not in parampara, written by all these materialistic people, because why? The materialistic people have four defects. They are illusion, their senses are not proper, they have a tendency to cheat. Okay, they have all these flaws. What? See, Bhagavad Gita means it's directly the instruction of Krishna. It should be as it is from Krishna. What is the use if we change the instructions of Krishna and put in our views? Then where is the question of Krishna's Bhagavad Gita? Where is the instruction of Krishna in that? When we introduce our instructions in that. Okay, so we should never read such a Bhagavad Gita which is written by materialistic people, especially who are not in the parampara. We should not at all read. We should, when we are reading a Bhagavad Gita, we should see to it that Bhagavad Gita is written by a person who is in that Guru Parampara. Otherwise, we should not read that Bhagavad Gita at all. Because nowadays in Kali Yuga, that is a fashion. Everybody makes the book attractive, and to read also we feel it is so nice. So we should not give in to all these temptations, and we should not even hear to the speeches like now on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you see, everybody is giving speeches on spirituality. And they will talk also so nicely that we get attracted. Oh my God, this is the truth. I was thinking something else, you'll think. They speak so nicely that they try to attract us. But all that is nonsense. So we should know everything. That's why we advise generally people, just follow. See, in ISKCON itself, there's so many speeches. Why should we go and listen to some other parampara, but to some other thing also, right? When we hear itself, we have so many speeches. Why not listen to this? Why not? Why unnecessarily get diverted by hearing something else, right? So it's always better to hear and read those speeches or books that are coming in successive, disciplic succession from a Guru Parampara. Okay, so we should follow that. Okay, let's go to 68. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidhasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mam evaishyati ashamshayah. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. So, what is Krishna saying? See, if someone explains this most confidential knowledge of the Gita to my devotees, then that person will develop pure devotion to me. And without doubt, he will come back to me. In a sense, he will return to the spiritual world. So here, like in the purport, Prabhupada says, if a person shares Krishna's teachings sincerely with devotees, the Bhagavad Gita or whatever about spirituality, we share sincerely with devotees, Krishna becomes very pleased. So because of this service, their devotion becomes stronger, and Krishna personally promises they will reach Krishna. Okay, so what is the main idea here Prabhupada is trying to say? So teaching the message of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, as it is, no changes, no plus or minus. As it has come from the Guru Parampara. So teaching the message of the Bhagavad Gita as it is without changing it is considered a very special service to Krishna. Okay, so what is this verse basically saying? If you help other devotees understand Krishna's teaching, Krishna will bless you with pure devotion and bring you to him. Okay. So this is for preachers, okay? Those who are helping others understand the teachings of Krishna. Krishna will bless them with pure devotion and bring, they will go back to Krishna Loka. And next, see, next what they're saying, Adhyeshyate cha ya imam dharmyam samvadam avayoha nana yagnena tenaham ishtah syam iti me mati. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation worships me by his intelligence. Okay, so now here Krishna is saying, when a person carefully studies the Bhagavad Gita, he tries to understand its meaning and reflects on it seriously, then that person is worshipping Krishna with knowledge. Okay, here in the shloka they're saying, right, Gnana Yagnena. So this is called Gnana Yagnena. Means when a person carefully studies the Bhagavad Gita, he tries to understand its meaning and reflects on it seriously. Okay, not just understanding the meaning, and he reflects on it seriously. How I can apply it in my daily life. Okay, then that person is worshipping Krishna with knowledge. So this is called Gnana Yagna. So what is Gnana Yagna? Gnana means knowledge. Yagna means sacrifice or offering. So Gnana Yagna means use our intelligence and time to understand spiritual knowledge as an offering to Krishna. Okay, so if someone sincerely studies the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna considers it as a form of worship. So even reading and understanding the Gita carefully is devotional service. Okay. 71. Shraddhavan anusuyascha shrunuyat api yo naraha so api muktaha subhalokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. And one who listens with faith and without envy and becomes free from sinful reaction and attains to the planets where the pious dwell. So in this verse, Krishna is explaining the benefit of just hearing the Gita. Just hearing the Gita. Okay? What are the benefits of just simply hearing the Gita? So if a person listens to the Bhagavad Gita with faith and is not envious of Krishna, then that person, he becomes free from, what are they saying? All sinful reaction. And he goes to the higher planets after death. So what is the main idea here? What we have to understand? See, if someone does not fully understand everything about the Bhagavad Gita, okay, so we are not able to understand completely the Bhagavad Gita, but he listens respectfully, but he has faith and he does not criticize Krishna. That hearing purifies that person. So just by hearing spiritual knowledge, the heart slowly becomes clean. Okay, so Krishna is teaching, Krishna is showing 3 levels of spiritual benefit in these 3 verses now, in these verses. So we saw, right, in the previous shloka, explaining the Gita to the devotees, we become very dear to Krishna. So we saw that in 68 and 69 shlokas. Okay, and in 70, what did we see? If we study the Gita seriously, it is worshipping Krishna with intelligence. Gnana Yagnena, we saw, right? Like that. If you study the Gita seriously, it's like you're doing Gnana Yagna, worshipping Krishna with intelligence. And now in this shloka, they're saying what? Simply hearing with faith. Just hearing with faith. Okay, you become purified. You don't have to become a pure devotee. You're a normal devotee who is just listening to the Bhagavad Gita with faith and respect for Krishna. So then you become purified and you go to the higher planets. Okay, so teaching the Gita, studying the Gita, or listening to the Gita, all 3 bring spiritual benefit. So 72. So Arjuna is firmly fixed. 72 we'll see. Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smritir labdha vat prasadan maya chuta Stitosmi gata sandehaha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I have, saying, I have regained my memory. The memory which is lost, he's saying, I have regained by your mercy. And I am now firm and free from doubt. And I'm prepared to act according to your instructions. So Arjuna is saying here, my confusion is gone. By your mercy, I have remembered the truth. I have remembered the truth. All my doubts are finished. Now I will do as you say. See what confusion Arjuna had earlier. See, at the beginning of the Gita, we saw Arjuna was sad, confused, afraid to fight, thinking that it was wrong to fight his relatives. He was thinking that sin would come to him. That's why he even put down his bow and he refused to fight. But after hearing Krishna's teachings about the soul, the duty, what is the dharma, karma, devotion, bhakti, his mind became clear. Okay, so I mean, like this verse, teaches a deep truth. What is that? See, a living being is naturally a servant of God. But when we forget this, we become confused by Maya. We are in illusion. When we understand Krishna properly, our confusion disappears. See, all of us, when we come to this material world, we think we are the enjoyer, we are everything. Everything in this material world is for us. We are the controller, we are independent. We think that way. It's we forgot totally about Krishna. Okay, we are in illusion. But as soon as we understand, we come out of that and we understand that we are soul and what is our dharma? We understand that we are eternal servant of Krishna. That is our swadharma. Okay, then we come back, we come to our constitutional position. Like this is what we are. Okay, then our confusion disappears. So when we understand Krishna properly, our confusion disappears. All this while we forgot Krishna. We were thinking we are everything. We are the enjoyer. We are the master. But in actual, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. When we come to know that and we connect with Krishna through Krishna consciousness, then all our confusion disappears. Okay, and then by doing devotional service, we can go back to Krishna. So now that's why Arjuna is telling, all my doubts are cleared. Now my confusion is gone and I will do whatever you say. Okay, 74, we'll see. See now Arjuna says, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory. I am now firm and free from doubt and prepared to act according to your instructions. Now Sanjaya's predictions. Now we'll see 74 to 78. So Sanjaya said, thus have I heard the conversation of the great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on one end. So 74, Sanjaya is saying, see, the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna is so wonderful and powerful. Sanjaya is telling that it made his hair stand on one end with amazement and joy. So he felt great excitement and spiritual happiness when he heard the Bhagavad Gita, the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. So actually, Sanjaya is showing how powerful the teachings of Bhagavad Gita are. So that is the deeper meaning. When Sanjaya is trying to say that his hair is standing on one end by hearing to the wonderful conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Okay, he's trying to tell how powerful the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita are. Even just hearing the Bhagavad Gita filled him with wonder, devotion, spiritual joy. So that is why he's saying the conversation is Adbhutam, it is wonderful, and Roma Harshanam. Okay, Roma means hair, Harshanam means standing in ecstasy. Harsha means when extreme happiness or something happens in ecstasy like that. So Roma Harshana means he's saying hair standing in ecstasy. So that is how powerful the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita are. So that's why his hairs are standing in ecstasy and he's feeling wonderful. Adbhutam and Roma Harshanam. Okay, 75. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. Okay, in 75, in this verse, Sanjay explains how he could hear the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. So Sanjay is saying, by the mercy of my spiritual master, Vyasa Maharshi, I am able to hear the confidential teachings between Krishna and Arjuna. So here we have to understand what this means. Like when Sanjay is saying this about his spiritual master. So it is like first he's trying to say that the mercy of the spiritual master. So Sanjaya could hear and understand this divine conversation because Vyasa blessed him with that spiritual vision. Okay, because his master, his spiritual master gave him that blessing, he could hear the divine conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. So blessing, mercy of the spiritual master. That is one reason. And the next is Krishna is the master of all yoga. So here in the shloka, Krishna is called Yogeshwara. Like you see in the shloka, I haven't read the shlokas actually. 75, right? See, the previous shloka also, Sanjay Uvacha, Iti aham vasudevasya parthasya, parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadam imam ashrausham adbhutam, he says. Adbhutam means wonderful. Roma harshanam means, Roma means hair standing, in harshanam, ecstasy. Okay, so that is how powerful the words of the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, Sanjaya is trying to say. Okay, so now let's go to the next shloka, 75. Here, see, here he says, Vyasa prasadat shrutavan etat guhyam aham param yogam, see, yogam yogeshwarat krishnat. So he is called the master of all yoga. So Krishna is called Yogeshwara, meaning the master of all mystic powers and yoga systems. Okay. And that is the second point. And third is knowledge comes through disciplic succession. So to understand spiritual truth, we learn through a parampara, a genuine spiritual master, not by our own speculation. So not by our own understanding. So it's many of them, they go to the market, they buy the Bhagavad Gita and start reading and they say, I've understood the Bhagavad Gita. So our understanding, our mental speculation doesn't work. And not, but even if you understand through someone who's not under the disciplic Guru Parampara, you won't understand the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So only when you understand it through the spiritual masters who are in that disciplic succession, who are following that Guru Parampara, then only you will understand the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, so this is also very important. So knowledge comes through disciplic succession. Please don't listen to any Bhagavad Gita, anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry comes and he just keeps telling you, and it may sound interesting, but still don't give in. Okay. So hearing through a bona fide spiritual master is as good as hearing it directly from Krishna. So a spiritual master is nothing but is a representation of Krishna. So if you are listening the Bhagavad Gita through a bona fide spiritual master, it is as good as hearing from Krishna directly. Okay, so that is a system called disciplic succession, Guru Parampara. Okay, so 75. Let's go to 76. Okay. O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure, being thrilled at every moment. So Sanjay is saying, O king, whenever I remember the wonderful and holy conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, I feel great happiness again and again. He's telling, right, being thrilled at every moment. Means again and again he's feeling that great happiness. What does this mean when Sanjay is saying this? He is trying to say that the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita are transcendental. So when someone hears the Gita properly from the right source, that person becomes spiritually enlightened. Such a person begins to enjoy spiritual life constantly, not just for a short time, constantly, again and again. Okay, so the joy Sanjaya feels is spiritual happiness, which keeps increasing every time he remembers Krishna's words. Okay, 77. Tatcha samsmritya samsmritya rupam ati adbhutam hareha vismayo me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah punah. O king, when I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with even greater wonder and I rejoice again and again. Okay, now Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra, whenever I remember the wonderful form of Krishna, I become more and more amazed and feel joyful again and again. So, what is this wonderful form that Sanjay is talking about? He's talking about the universal form, Vishwarupa, that Krishna showed to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. So, in that universal form, he could see the entire universe inside Krishna. He could see all planets, gods, and living beings, everything he could see. He could see Krishna as the supreme controller of everything. Okay, so actually, Krishna, he showed this universal form mainly to Arjuna because Arjuna wanted to see, that's why he wanted to show the universal form to Arjuna. But when he was showing it to Arjuna, some great devotees could also see it. We saw, right? Some demons could see, some demigods could see, rishis from other planets could see, right? Out of them, Vyasa was also one of them. So I'm sorry, not Vyasa, sorry, I mean Sanjaya was one of them. And by Vyasa's mercy, Sanjaya could also see. Okay, so when Sanjaya remembers Krishna's universal form, he feels great wonder, deep spiritual happiness. Now let's see the last shloka. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Whenever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Okay, so Sanjaya tells Dhritarashtra's final conclusion. So wherever Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will certainly be prosperity, victory, great strength, righteousness, means morality. Okay, will be there. So Sanjay is saying that this is my opinion. He's giving like a, he's saying it very firmly, very strongly. He's saying, this is my opinion. So why is Sanjaya saying this? This is my opinion. Because the war in the Mahabharata was between the two sides. I mean, like Duryodhana was Dhritarashtra's son. So on one side was Duryodhana, other side Yudhishthira. So even though Duryodhana had many powerful warriors like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, because Krishna was guiding Arjuna, the Pandava side would surely win. Okay, so why Sanjaya was of a strong opinion means this is the reason. So even though Kauravas had all the great warriors, but still, on the Pandava side, there was Krishna. So Krishna was guiding Arjuna. Okay, he was confident that because Krishna was there on the side of Arjuna, the Pandavas would surely win. Okay, so what do we understand from this verse? This verse the final message of the Bhagavad Gita. So when a person follows Krishna's guidance and acts sincerely like Arjuna, then what happens? Sanjaya is telling success, righteousness, and real prosperity naturally come. Okay, so this is my opinion. Sanjaya is trying to say. Okay, so with this, we complete chapter 18 and the whole of the Bhagavad Gita.